City Morning Show.
Good morning, muy buenos días todos. Bienvenidos a esta edición del Sugar City Morning Show. Un gran gusto estar con ustedes hoy por la mañana, como siempre. Hoy es el 21 de octubre. Como nada, el tiempo vuela. 21 de octubre. Y son exactamente las 7:04. Estamos transmitiendo en vivo desde Nortevisión, Canal 10, aquí en la Avenida San Lorenzo. Y estamos transmitiendo por cable, aire y por internet. Y muchas gracias por permitirnos entrar hasta lo más íntimo de sus hogares. Muchísimas gracias. Como siempre, empezamos este programa con una oración, porque hoy, 21 de octubre, estamos vivos y no todos pueden decir eso. Te pido que te unas conmigo a este momento, a darle gracias a Dios por todas las bendiciones, que aunque no estemos al 100%, y en que a veces nos está llevando lo que ya sabes, entonces pudiera ser peor, y Dios no nos da más de lo que podemos aguantar. Así que te pido a que te unas conmigo a decir: Padre, muchas gracias por todas tus bendiciones. No obstante el hecho que no puedo caminar mucho hoy y me canso, pero tú me das las fuerzas para poder caminar suficiente y para proveer de que alguien me recoja y que me traiga al trabajo. Eso sí. Muchas gracias por la vida, la salud. Muchas gracias, Padre, por la amistad, por el bienestar, por los buenos momentos que pasamos entre familia y amistades. Muchas gracias por todo esto, Padre. Te pido que bendigas a las personas cerca de mí y a las personas que se unen a esta oración en este momento y sus familiares. Te pido, Padre, por todas las personas que están dispuestos a hacer el cambio, pero que necesitan un poquito de fortaleza tuya. Dales esa fortaleza, Padre, para que podamos nosotros ejercer el cambio que tanto nos hace falta hacer. Te pedimos, Padre, por todas las personas que también están sufriendo, que están enfermos en las cárceles, en los hospitales, en sus casas, en las calles. Y también te pido por los viejitos, los que tienen que laborar fuertemente para su pan de cada día, por los niños desamparados. Y también te pido por todos nosotros que tengamos un lindo día y que tengamos la capacidad de decir: tú estás conmigo, Padre, no tengo nada de qué temer. Padre, te bendecimos, te adoramos y te glorificamos siempre. Amén. If you've just joined us, it's exactly 7:07. Let us go directly to the general weather forecast. Now, let me take a little sip of water here before. I need to clear the throat. I think about last week or so, I was chatting, because as I normally do with the weather forecast, because I just love meteorology and anything that is related to weather, etc., etc., etc. I'm a fan of Weather Channel and all of these things, and Met Service, and which gives me the capacity, because of my knowledge, gives me the capacity to see things happening. And I looked at the forecast last week, and I go like, it's going to be 94, 95, 96, 97, and then back 94. And then all of a sudden there's going to be a week of 80s. And late in October, that only means one thing. Cada año sucede un cambio climático, cada año, y eso está a punto de suceder mañana o esta semana. Y esto es cuando baja el jet stream un poquito y permite que cuando digamos el cold front que está bajando de los Estados Unidos permite que se baje aire frito, no frío, frío, pero aire menos caliente de lo que estamos sintiendo aquí, porque sería o fuera uh, otro tipo de reacción atmosférica lo que estuviéramos viendo si fuera aire helado completamente. Y me di cuenta de que son los vientecitos de Hanal Pichán que ya estarán bajando esta semana. Gracias a Dios. Fair and warm weather prevails over the country of Belize. The 24-hour forecast, sunny with cloudy spells today and cloudy skies at times tonight. Showers or thunderstorms will be isolated, increasing over the south tonight. The winds from the east-southeast, 10 to 20 knots, and the sea stayed moderate. Temperatures along the coast, 89 as a high, 81 as a low. Inland, 94 as a high, and 76 as a low. And in the hills, 86 as a high, and 70 as a low. There are no advisors in place. And quickly turning to the National Hurricane Center, we see that there's nothing except for a wave that is coming out of that is by Jamaica and Haiti, and it is supposed to be coming our way by within a couple of days. And other than that, remember that the Cape Verde hurricane season has pretty much finished, which means that generally in August, September is most of the hurricanes are formed off the Gulf of Africa, along the Cape Verde Islands, or the Cape Verde, Azores. I don't recall what is the exact name, but anyway, yes, I think it's Cape Verde, and most of them are formed within that area because of the atmospheric conditions are just right in that area, and then they meander across the Atlantic into the Caribbean or up the Atlantic coast. Well, that season has pretty much finished, and we won't see hurricane formation coming out of that area. But now our focus should be on the Caribbean itself, and right in front of us. Normally, this is where the hurricanes begin to form, in the Gulf of Honduras or down by Panama, Nicaragua, Colombia, in that area, and then come right up from the interconvergence zone, right? They normally tend to come up. But there's nothing like that at the moment. Nothing. So I'm very glad to tell you that 5 years, I'm sorry, not 5 years ago, but some time ago, 21 years ago, we had a mist coming out of that area. And also I think that we had a number of other small hurricanes coming out of that area, which never really caused any trouble to us, but which you never know when that happens. But looking at it, there's nothing really. Like I said, only some heavy clouds and so forth, which should be coming our way tomorrow. So, outlook for tomorrow, Tuesday, a few showers and isolated thunderstorms will affect most areas on Tuesday, an increasing Tuesday night, obviously as a result of that. A low tide occurs 10:18 today, a high tide at 4:35, a low tide at 8:59, and a high tide tomorrow morning at 3:36. The sun's rose this morning at 5:47, and the sun is setting at 5:26. And in pretty much the same manner, the moon is setting this afternoon at 12:36, and the moon is rising tomorrow morning at 8 minutes after 12 midnight. Thank you, Francisca Wellington, for that information. Thank you very much. Aquí les va el reporte del estado del tiempo para hoy, lunes 21 de octubre. y la gente ya de mayor edad y algunos otros que son están bastante atentos a los cambios climáticos que suceden, saben de que viene fin de octubre y entonces empezamos a sentir los vientecitos de Hanal Pichar. Todavía no los hemos sentido, desafortunadamente. ¿Qué quiere decir vientecitos de Hanal Pichán? Los vientecitos de Hanal Pichán son mañanas frescas, bastante frescas, cielos completamente despejados, sistema de alta presión. No se permite formación de nubes temprano en la mañana y hasta luego, claro. Pero entonces el día no es tan caluroso. Subimos hasta 85. Vamos a ver si mañana o pasado empezamos por algo muy parecido, o quizás así lo sea. No lo sé todavía porque tengo que sentirlo para decirlo. ¿Ok? Pero esa es la buena nueva. Pero para hoy, condiciones secas y calurosas continúan sobre el país de Belice. Para las siguientes 24 horas, soleado con periodos de nubosidad y parcialmente nublada por la noche. Por momentos, chubascos o tornadas estarán aisladas, aumentándose por la noche, en el sur por la noche. Los vientos del este-sudeste 10 a 20 nudos, el estado del mar moderado, temperaturas por la costa 89 como una máxima, 81 como una mínima. En el interior 94 como una máxima, 76 como una mínima. Y por las colinas 86 como una máxima y 70 como una mínima. No hay advertencias en lugar. Se espera que mañana martes tengamos un aumento, tengamos tronadas y chubascos y un aumento por la noche de lluvia, y eso se raíz obviamente a lo que es la llegada de esta ola tropical que estará pasando por aquí, y también la bajada de ese frente que estará sucediendo entre muy poco durante el curso de esta semana. Y los vientecitos sí van a suceder, te lo garantizo. Miércoles, jueves ya estamos hablando de temperaturas mucho más bajas. Máximas temperaturas 10 grados menos, 87. No estamos hablando de frío, pero estamos hablando de menos calor. Es lo que estamos hablando, menos calor. Una marea baja a las 10:18, una alta a las 4:35, otra baja a las 8:59 por la noche y otra alta a las 3:36 mañana temprano por la mañana. El sol salió a las 5:47 y el sol se oculta a las 5:26. De igual forma, la luna se oculta a las 12:36 mediodía y se sale mañana temprano por la madrugada a medianoche más 8 minutos. Vamos, gracias Francisco Wellington, y también muchas gracias a nuestros patrocinadores. Estamos hablando de Digi, Belize Tourist Board, Government of Belize Information Service, German Vega, Vega Imports, Vega Distributors, y también las tiendas ENR. Vamos rápidamente a una pausa. Vamos a ver, las 7:17. Vamos a una pausa y estaremos de vuelta con ustedes con un poco de política tan pronto estemos de vuelta de estos anuncios. Vamos a la pausa.
World-class spaces for Belizean athletes to thrive and fans to enjoy. Our new basketball and multipurpose arenas have proven their worth, attracting regional and international sporting events and hosting expos, conferences, and proud graduates. Your government moving Belize forward.
Have you ever noticed the development that's taking place in your town or in your city? Maybe it's because you've been too busy enjoying the results. government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Need an escape from your daily schedule? Why not become a tourist in your own country? Discover Western Belize. Transport back in time and be awed by the reminiscences of the Mayan civilization. Be adventurous or spend a day with family and friends enjoying the serenity of the Macau River. Sample a Kaya staple or pick up some fresh produce to make your own delicacy. Come visit us in Western Belize. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
These sunny days are here, and whether it's for a picnic or in your kitchen, you need the meat. Gillette's Meat Shop proudly offers a variety of juicy cuts such as processed meats, ham, bacon, salami, longanisa, and sugar cure ham, just to mention a few. Enjoy our meats in beef, pork, and mutton. So for that healthy cut your family enjoys, visit us at number 18 San Antonio Road in Orange Walk from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 12:30 and 3 to 5 p.m. Sundays, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Place your orders at 322-3486 or 322-2175 or even 610-4061. Send us an email at derekgillett31@gmail.com. Gillette's Meat Shop, fresh and processed meats.
Ay, qué rico.
Take a journey with us to endless possibilities. Our future as a country is now. Diginet Boost is countrywide. Taking Belize into the future. A nationwide technological evolution. As the most advanced fiber connection, Diginet Boost is a step forward into a modern world. Belize is powered by Diginet. Diginet Boost, now available countrywide.
Six cylinders to pure potential and better performance.
It looks like it vibrates. You think it could be the horsepower?
With a quart of oil and the calibration of the injectors, it will start to get the watchers again on the street.
We take a motor to its optimal level. We speak machine, rush runs, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Notice the residents of rural communities in Orange Walk and Corozal districts. If you value your health and your children's health, you will dispose of your garbage only at approved sites. The disposal of garbage at any other location is illegal, and if caught, you can be fined up to $5,000. If you don't get caught, you can still suffer health impacts caused by these illegal sites, because illegal dump sites harbor pests such as rodents, possums, and mosquitoes that carry diseases. These can transmit those diseases to you and your children. In addition, the garbage you throw away illegally can contaminate water bodies near your community, the same water bodies you might use for recreation or other purposes. Only with your help can the Department of Environment ensure that Belize's development is safe for present and future generations. You can also contact your local village councils or Belize Solid Waste Management Authority for more information. The Department of Environment thanks you for your help.
The San Ignacio-Santa Elena Bypass Project is now complete. The transformation began in 2012, and now residents of the Twin Towns and visitors alike are enjoying the end result. Works include the full pavement of Lamalus Boulevard, along with 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage, LED lighting, and a roundabout at the entrance of Santa Elena. The Twin Towns now boast the longest and widest bridge in Belize, immune to flooding from the occasional rise in water levels of the McCall River. A bypass road was also built linking the new bridge to Joseph Andrews Drive, which was rehabilitated, as well as 1 mile of pavement, a median, and 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage. This was all done to the tune of $34.8 million. But that's not all. The project was extended due to savings from the successful execution and implementation of the initial scope of works. Now over 2 miles of additional roadworks will commence, including George Price Avenue, Liberty Avenue, and the George Price Highway between Three Flags and Hawksworth Bridge. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. Bienvenidos al Sugar City Morning Show, las 7:25. Hoy, siendo lunes, tenemos el gran gusto de tener con nosotros a nuestro invitado, el señor Rubén Campos. Así que tomo tiempo aparte para decir buenos días, señor Rubén.
Buenos días,
y
Emanuel.
Bienvenido.
Muchísimas
y
gracias.
Como siempre, a nuestro compañero de siempre, al señor Robert Checky. Good morning, Checky.
Good morning, Mr. Martinez.
Welcome to the show.
Morning, Checky.
Good to see you, my brother.
How are you?
How are you guys doing?
Why, good. First of all, you know me, Negro. I have to give thanks to God for opening a brand new window today. I am very grateful. You know, I have been, well, a lot of people know and some don't know. I have been taking some treatment, some cancer treatment. And last week I went to get some treatment and some examinations, and I praise the Lord because the doctor said, you know what, it's been blocked, and now you're on the road to recovery and whatnot, you know. So I feel good, I feel blessed, I'm happy, so much to be thankful for, and you know, and I'm much more grateful this morning because I'm with two friends, you know.
Thank you very much.
And you get to appreciate family and friends much more, Chucky.
Yes.
And realize that, you know, it takes a while sometimes to have realization, and we have to be mature enough to say, well, Jesus, thank you. You know, sometimes we go, we not say thank you for this, we not say thank you.
But you said
blessings to everybody, no?
You said a mantra because just this morning, as I was walking from home to where I normally have breakfast, and this morning I walked pretty well. I didn't have much pain in my legs, and which something happens every day, mind you. You see me to walk, but you don't know what I'm going through. But this morning I said, you got a little bit of pain, but hey, so what, Emmanuel? So what? You're alive. Look at you. You're alive, and you're feeling good, and hey, you never know how blessed you are until you talk to somebody else who can't even walk, can't even talk, is sick with cancer, or his parents are dying. Are you to try to complain just because you got a little pain in your legs? Come on. So that gave me added strength, and I started walking, and I started forgetting about the pain in my legs. I had breakfast, and I came home, and bam, somebody passes, Checky passes, and picks me up, and I had to walk. And just before that, I said, good Lord, make somebody come pick me up. 2 seconds after that, somebody appeared. So you see how life is? It's beautiful.
Oh, yes, it is. And you know, Chucky, I also want to say that, you know, we live in a world where we pass each other sometimes, and for little small things, I turn my back on you, failing to realize that, you know, in this life, we are living in a glass room, you know. At some point in time, we are only humans, we are imperfect, and we know that God is perfect and He's the only perfect person. But we should strive to improve every day and be yourself, you know. That's the important thing. We agree to disagree and disagree to agree. That you have to be yourself.
That stands.
Right, you have to be who you are, but be real. Be real, you know. And if you have an opinion, and you say it, but I'm not saying it to hurt you, but that's what I think and how I think, you know.
Yep.
And that is how we learn. When you go to school, Emmanuel Cheke, you listen to the teacher. You don't like how the teacher maybe look, maybe you don't like how he talk, but if you not listen and take your notes, you know what pass. You must learn. So at an early stage, we are taught to recognize that in learning we do make mistakes. That's why the teacher got X and he got correct and say go back and improve. And I think that is an example for our life as we grow, that we learn to accept those things that we need to change and be positive. So this Monday morning is good. Start off the week good.
Yeah, but you know, gentlemen, RC1, some people feel like when you say some things to them, it's not that because you want to hurt them, you want to say anything against them, or if you say something, you know, that they don't might like here, they feel like, hey, that person, he bad, can I hear what he say? But we have to wake up to the reality, because if somebody is saying something and you look by yourself and say, okay, you know what, that you were my friend, they say, not say that you what one they say or what a bad one they say. That you were my friend they say, because if they never my friend, they never may say anything, so make I know. It may keep it in, and then you man, they right there say the one that going wrong, and you don't realize that you're going wrong. So let's look at these critics positive, man.
Well, our next thing, I just want to say good morning to people down in Stan Creek. They watch Independence area. Sugar City Morning Show goes all the way there, you know, and
Yo quiero darle los buenos
so I want to say
días.
good morning to all of you. Benke, Cayo, buenos días.
Quiero dar los buenos días a mis buena gente en la entrada de San Esteban, a mi primo Lois y a su esposa Rosie, y darle las gracias por la comida fantástica, el tiempo que pasamos juntos, que pasamos en una forma bastante bien toda la tarde, que podemos platicar por horas y comer y reír, y después de eso pues me traen a la casa y a mí me encantó hacer esto, y van como 3 o 4 veces que lo hago. Muchas gracias por ese privilegio de estar dentro de sus hogares y permitirme que estar dentro y compartir con ustedes. Es muy importante eso. Y nos reímos y todo eso. Así que, y Rose, tu comida siempre es una maravilla. Así que muchas gracias por todo. Tu pastelito estuvo excelente. También quiero tomar tiempo a enviarles saludos a mi familia. Muchas felicidades. Y también iba a decir a toda nuestra audiencia en el Benque, y también en San José Socots, que fielmente nos escuchan y fielmente nos apoyan. Muchísimas gracias por eso.
Es bueno, pero también tenemos que darle gracias a los que nos miran aquí en el ambiente de Orange Walk y Corozal, las aldeas y convecinas, y también a don Raúl y Miss Elisa Castillo, que cuando tenemos chance de hablar, dice, ¿sabes qué? En la mañana yo vi a Sugar City Morning Show. You know, they are founders of Orange Walk, and it's really good to be able to recognize and say hello, good morning to people that, you know, have been good to our community, and most of the times good to us. So, and of course, you know that the owner of the station, Mr. Gape, good morning to you and the family. They always tune in too, you know. So, and brother German, you know, he's all right. So, buddy.
Yeah, RC1 as person in charge for the rural development here in Orange Walk, and I know you have been over the country. Village council elections has come and gone. How are things looking?
Well, right now, okay, let me just, some people like, let me just say that how it's structured, the department is structured.
Okay.
In Orange Walk and Corozal, there are 2 districts, we know. In Orange Walk, Mr. Elmer Osorio is the Rural Community Development Officer responsible for the district of Orange Walk. Mr. Christian Losa is the RCDO for Corozal, assisted there by Mr. Roel Chan. I am the regional coordinator for both districts. So Mr. Osorio is responsible directly for the village council, water boards, and those matters. But we do work together. There are 24 villages in Orange Walk, 27 in Corozal. So we need to, we coordinate and work as a team in this. But in terms of village councils have come and gone. The department, we have gone a process of a first stage of having an educational program for the village councils in Orange Walk and Corozal, both districts. We have completed the training on roles and responsibilities and the financial accountability for village councils, what are their duties and such. There will be further training because you know, as you go along, the new village councils need to get involved to see how they can partner to have development in their communities. After all, that is what they volunteered for, to go and do some work, and we are there to provide the training. And the department, as usual, continues to dialogue and have discourse with agencies in terms of how they evaluate who and how you're going to help communities. For example, we were in Toledo for a whole week, and I think the whole program consisted about 16 villages between January and now. And the process there was to do what we call community profiles and livelihood baseline assessment workshop, where we were trained to go to the communities, talk to the villagers and to the leaders particularly, and to find out from them, okay, who are you? What makes you click? What are your valuables? What do you treasure? What is your culture, your attitude, your character? What is it that you have in terms of disaster risk management? How do you deal with it? Who help you? How you get help and whatnot? Are you satisfied, not satisfied? So that the profile testing, there was a program created that whenever we did interview, we had to do it like on laptops or your phone, and you had, when you completed, you submitted, that automatically went to the agency, so that they had accumulated instantly information, ground information from the communities, so that whenever there is a disaster and they say, for example, in a particular village, well, I love Corazon village, where there are about 40 households. And people, for example, have a tendency, well, you know, we have flooding, we are far from Punta Gorda, and whenever we have a flood, they come and they give us seeds. All right, feeds to start again. He said, thank you for the seeds, but it's a disaster. And now we would recommend that when we have these disasters, I lost my 5 sacks of corn. Please replace me with 5 sacks of corn, because with that I eat, after that I eat. Yeah. So by going to the communities and working with the leaders, with the village councils, and down there, you know, you have alcaldes. So you have to get them, and you have NGOs. So you work with the NGOs and everybody together. So it's a team effort, not a government effort, a government directed, but a community team thing. So it's beautiful to hear. You ask them where you get your basic thing for your food, where you cook. Your caldos, they have different ways of doing their caldos, and they're all delicious. Your handmade tortilla. So where you get your corn, how you do it? They have a corn mill.
This is super interesting for me, but I'd just like to quickly interject. I know that in the South they have their alcalde system.
Yes.
And that is, the alcalde is generally not chosen in an election, but that person is just naturally garners the respect of the rest of the people. In other words, the alcalde, because he's the elder and because he is the one who was shown to be most knowledgeable and also
leadership skills.
Has skills and has attributes. But how do you still have the village council, where you have a village council chairman?
Yes.
So how does the village council chairman live or compete with the alcalde, who is within the same village? If the alcalde says one thing and the village council says another, where do you go?
Well, It's a good question, but uniquely, they work together. They work together. The alcalde has other powers. The alcalde comes under the Attorney General's office, who appoints them, and they have a legal standing. They can arrest you. They could lock you up. They could fine you up to a certain limit. But it has to be pertinent to their region, and I will not be one to delve into that so much because you need the immediate information to do justice. They are wonderful people. They love their community. And remember that down south, you have the Maya culture. You have the Maya Mopan and the Kachi. So that there are two. The Maya Mopan sounds a little bit like the Yucatecan Maya, and the Arequichi language is good, but they understand, good morning, Dios, and you learn a few little things there, But I really appreciate the culture, character, and attitude of the people in the villages down south. It was quite an experience, and I really big up the village councils and water boards and the alcaldes because they work together. They work together. You see, and they understand. They understand what it's like to work together, because they are communities far apart from each other most of the time, and so for them to be able to survive, they have to share and whatnot. So, but they are very resilient people, very educated, and my high respect to them. We learn a lot from them.
Okay. Who carries the mandamas in one of those? The alcalde or the village council chairman?
Both of them, because the village council member is elected, and the alcalde is appointed when he goes through the attorney general's office. So, but they work together because of the dynamics of who they are. It's a cultural thing. Remember that the alcalde was there before there were village councils.
Yeah.
When the creation of village councils came to be, they were communities. Then they were formulated and named to be villages. So they work together, and they help each other. They're very supportive of each other. They're very independent thinking. They'll stand up and talk to you how they feel. They will tell you how they feel. And that is very good, because unless you hear from them directly what it is that their needs are, how they look at it, how they would participate, so it's not a give me thing, it's how we work together. What can we do together? So, and that is how they work, because in the communal thing, everybody have to go. When the alcalde said, well, this Saturday or Sunday we're going to go chop and clean, and you no go, you better send your $5 or $10 contribution if you no go, because you won't get fined. Okay, so it's mandatory. You have to go and participate.
Disciplinary.
Yeah, so, but that is the culture, and you have to understand, and most important, give them the respect. They're very intelligent people.
But talking about that, RC1, I know if you go on break right now, but talking about that, when you have town council elections, when you have city council election, when you have a national election, persons that put their name to run and become a councillor or minister, they have a responsibility to do some work. I believe it's the same in the village councils. Village council persons are elected, but when we come back, I'll make a touch on some of the things. What are the responsibility and then people run village council? It's just because somebody pick and say, I want you, and I think this one could win and I want to win. Yeah. And then they win, and then look, disappearance. Let's take a break.
Okay. Let's take a break and we'll be right back. Time once again, and the only store to visit for all your back-to-school needs is A&R Store on Baker Street, here in Orange Walk Town. Visit them for the absolute largest assortment of school bags in the country, with brands like JanSport, Skechers, Everest, Capsule, and character bags like Mickey and Minnie Mouse, Jojo, Siwa, Unicorn, and so much more. Remember, A&R Store is your one-stop source for all your school supplies like exercise books, folders, sheets, dry eraser boards, foam boards, crayon and coloring books, plus so much more. Plus, they have a wide assortment of housewares, including bed sheets, cookware, and garbage containers in all sizes and at the best prices in town. Visit A&R on Baker Street today, now with extended hours to better serve you from 8 a.m. through to 6 p.m., Monday to Saturday. A&R stores, where prices do make all the difference.
Everyone needs a getaway. Why not make it in your own backyard? Learn the history of your old capital. Or venture out on a road trip to experience the village life and be captivated by nature's wildlife, culture, and food. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
Everybody wants a clean and healthy family. That's why they purchase the best food products and the cleansing materials. This time, we give you a bigger size of La Costeña products like the mouth-watering fried beans and the pasta sauce. And surely for your clean laundry, we have the breathtaking aroma of Ensueño Max Suavitel. Even your visitors will ask what you clean your floors and restrooms with. And you can boast it is the variety of Pinol products and Sultan muriatic acid, now in 900 milliliters. And much more for the best prices only at German Vega and Sons Imports. We serve you at number 5 San Antonio Road, Orange Walk Town. You can even call us at 322-3625 or 322-2672. Or you can even send us a fax at 322-2571 or email us at germanvega@btl.net. German Vega and Sons Limited, because we care for you.
The ongoing technological evolution constantly transforms the way we live our lives. The introduction of our national fiber network creates the opportunity for Belizeans to live the digital lifestyle. Today, Digi is proud to introduce Dana, Belize's first artificially intelligent automated assistant. Dana is the modern customer service experience. Available 24/7, Dana can provide Digi prepaid and postpaid customers with directory information, credit and plan balances, product and promo information, and more. Just talk to Dana. Want to check your credit balance? Ask Dana.
Hey Dana, what's my credit balance?
New Digi promotions? Ask Dana.
Hey Dana, any new Digi promotions?
Dial 113 for directory assistance and dial 119 to talk to Dana. Digi remains committed to introducing the latest in cutting-edge technologies. Transforming Belize, one technology at a time. Try Dana today.
Thank you for calling Digi Customer Service.
Motor 5.0, 4 válvulas por cilindro. Todos quisiéramos una. Como que no agarra, ¿no? Siento como que se le pega el... ¿Balancín? Vamos a darte el aceite que te mereces. Vas a correr como rayo, preciosa.
Los que oímos más allá de las revoluciones, hablamos máquina. Roche France, poniendo el mundo a funcionar.
Agente autorizado German Vega y Sons. Teléfono 322-3625. Roche France.
Someone come? Yes, someone coming. Let's go. Sa. Fastest question of the day. What you the letter here?
Who sent me the letter?
That sign right there. You can't read?
Well, make I tell you something. In this here community, everybody dump here, so me just dump my garbage right here.
So if somebody jump off a bridge, you that do it too?
No, man, no.
You never know that littering is an environmental crime and Department of the Environment can charge you for that?
Why is that a crime?
Because you pollute the same environment you live in, dirtying the same land and water you use. You don't even know that you dumping garbage can make you and your family sick by attracting disease-carrying pests, and the Department of the Environment just to try help we take care of the we environment.
So all of that? Well, now that you put it that way.
Thanks for your 5 cents, brother. That's 5 cents Christianity.
This message is brought to you by the Department of the Environment.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. Bienvenidos de vuelta al Sugar City Morning Show. Son exactamente las 7:49. Una mañana bastante calurosa hoy en Orange Walk. Y yo creo que para todo el día de hoy vamos a estar teniendo bastante calor. Ya para mañana estaremos viendo unos chubascos. Y ya para el miércoles estaremos viendo tronadas y un descenso en temperatura. Gracias a Dios. Pero el otro problema que existe es la cantidad de mosquitos que existe. Y te juro que ayer en mi viaje estuve yo por la mañana bastante contento porque no hay mosquitos, un cuantas moscas. Pero por la tarde, desde las 3:30, una cantidad de mosquitos que nos invadieron. Y que estaba yo hasta cierto punto comiendo mosquitos, inhalando mosquitos, porque pues, no podía hacer nada mejor enteramente. Pero lo que no mata engorda, ¿verdad? Lo que no mata engorda. Pero regresando a nuestro tema de discusión, estamos hablando acerca de, bueno, ya sucedieron las elecciones. Ya se dio cuenta de que hubo casi el 50% fue PUP, una sección fue UDP, y que ciertas promesas, lo importante, aquí tornando a lo político, que ciertas promesas y trabajo que se debió de estar haciendo luego de las elecciones no se está haciendo. Y no se está haciendo, ¿por qué? Porque no saben que es su trabajo, o porque no hay fondos para hacerlo. ¿Será que quizás no hay motivación para hacerlo? ¿Qué es la situación? El señor Rubén Campos nos está diciendo aquí que a través de su departamento tienen formas para motivar, para educar y motivar a las personas electas para hacer su trabajo. Ya luego entonces, si ellos no lo hacen, pues es otra cosa. ¿No así es?
Así es.
Así es. Pero aquí le invitamos al concilio de Trial Farm que haga algo sobre los patios crecidos, del terreno crecido aquí el football field que está crecido, que desde que las elecciones no se ha mandado a limpiar, y si es que se ha mandado a limpiar una vez quizás, pero está lóbrigo, ya menos va a salir tigre de ahí. Y vamos a hablar la neta, por algo les fueron elegidos ustedes, por algo, por una razón, quería un cambio. Muy bien, ahora el cambio eres tú y tu actitud, pero si tú no haces nada, entonces, ¿qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué mecanismo hay para tratar de inyectar a estos miembros del concilio para que hagan su trabajo? ¿Será que se les puede quitar el salario? Pero no hay salario para ellos. ¿Qué hay dentro del sistema? Solo se puede mandar a regañar. Ey, tú no estás haciendo tu trabajo. ¿Qué controles hay?
Let's get this call before.
Okay.
Hello, good morning, Sugar City Morning Show.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This question is directed to Mr. Campos. What autonomy does a village council have to put a fine against the people that do not clean their yards? Right? Because I think the village council is supposed to have an autonomy, right? A self-governed autonomy of themselves so that they can put laws and regulations in their villages, right? And if they can do that, they could put fines on people that cannot or do not clean their yards to prevent this mosquito invasion that we're having. Please explain.
Okay, well, it's a good question, a question that we, in terms when we have the educational process with the village councils, we zone the districts so that we have at least 5, 6 villages at one time, or 7 village or 8 village or 12 villages together. In the case of Orange Walk, we broke it 12-12 so that you have like 2 teams of people from different areas could ask these questions that he's asking. Now, in terms of the legislation, village councils in the bylaw, in the law, in the act says that they can prepare bylaws for their community, and there is a procedure for that. And procedure for that is that they must come to an agreement, and the community must agree. Then it takes the channel. It has to go to the National Assembly to be able to be introduced. So that is the reason why there are district association of village councils and the national association, so that the communities get together to see, look, we are in accord. Remember that laws are not made for an individual or for a singular community. So when they come together, we guide them and show them the section of the law that says you have an ability to be able to do this, but this is the process. So that is what we relate to them and show them in the course of the training program that we prepare for them.
But now, apart from that, RC, that is well explained. So out there, people are expect, hey, this field dirty. You want clean up, you want chop. The drain's dirty. We got fence we broke down here. But then, where the village council get the funds from for clean up their places?
Well, you know, most villages have, you know, more bars and churches. Like what my brother says. So when you have a license, you pay a liquor license fee. All the liquor license fee goes to the village councils, everything. You understand?
But I still insist that that is sending the wrong message.
But yeah, that is your opinion, but the law is the law. If you want to change the law, Emmanuel, you put a recommendation. But whilst I agree with you, I can only talk about what's within the framework of the law.
Right.
You know, my opinion is my opinion, your opinion. But if we are doing a training, I have to show you exactly what is in the law, chapter 88 of the laws of Belize, which govern and direct village councils and water boards. So that is our duty. Now, our opinion as to what we will listen to when we do consultation, that is where we advise the bodies of village councils what steps they can take. It's upon them. We are not the village council. No, going to your question, remember, village councils at one time were a community election where people come in and say, we choose the best person who will work, guide, and lead. And the reality today is that village councils have become just like municipal elections through a political line. So when you have political lines in it, you have village councils who have a sense of humility. Like in the case of Trial Farm then, the reality is that the Honorable Gaspar Vega is still the area representative for the United Democratic Party, who is the party in government. And if you need help from the government, there are channels. One, you can visit rural department, write, and we direct for you. But if you want support also, you go to your area representative, because he was also elected to assist the entire area of where he was elected. So we have to learn to create a partnership. People have decided, well, this is the way we want to go. Whether I like it or not, that's their choice. But we need to work together so that we can enhance. Some people prefer to take it down a political line, and they say, well, for example, I overheard some people say, oh, make the grass, just like he said, make the grass go, and then we're going to blame the representative and do nothing. And then the people say, yeah, but we elect you because you're in charge of the village. By law, you're responsible for everything within the village. So you have this back and forth game, but legally, the responsibility comes under the village councils by law.
Responsibilities are seen.
Right, no. But the funds, the question of the funds now, we have training where we indicate to them agencies that help villages. Okay, there are many agencies that will help communities and don't go through the government. But you decided to run. Before the election, you were happy. When you won, you were more happy. And the time for work now is put your head together, how you will do the things, what you promise the people to do, just like you have for town council and general election. It's a process. So you need to work together to be able to do that. And there are areas, and if you want a project, and you want the assistance, and you want training on how to do a project, you come to the department, we discuss that with the people in Belapan, and we can have training how to develop projects for you, how we can guide you to the agencies that deal with rural communities. You have the Caribbean Development Bank, you have the European Union, you have the World Bank, you have Humana, you have many areas, but then again, you need to sit down and say, well, this is what we're going to plan, and this is what we're going to do, and it's always good if you get support of the community, because then they buy in, and they will ensure that it happens. No, if you go in there and say, well, I get elected, I'm not going to come in. You need to be responsible, and we do the training, because it's our duty to train and educate so that they will be able to do what they want to do.
When it comes to the funds, right? When it comes to the funds, you mentioned bar, but we have big communities.
I use the word loosely because it's liquor license fees.
Yeah, but I want to look at something else. Look at Ladyville. Look at Hopkins. They place that big villages. Look at Trial Farm. When it comes to liquor license, the shops were in these communities and the trade license that they have, where the money go to?
They don't go to the village council.
The village council, the license fees, all goes to village councils. But no, the stores, because there's not trade license. There's not trade license. Only the liquor license. But that is a challenge that you give the councils. The councils need to come together and say, how are we going to deal with this? Because the community will be affected. Remember, in villages you have people where make panades, they sell only tortilla, and you need to find out from them across this country how it is that they want to address the trade license aspect of it. That is in process at this time. Discussions are being held with them. But the other thing that is important, we have to recognize and give kudos to those persons who put their names on a ballot. Because you have people who talk about things, but who could do a lot more, but they don't want to put their name on the ballot. So you have to give them credit for that.
But RC, when it comes to the trade license, right? Let's try.
No, liquor license. I finish with the liquor license.
Okay.
The district select a district association of village councils, DAFCO. Each DAFCO has a representative who is on the liquor license board. What is the function? For example, there are certain businesses in villages, and I don't want to discriminate, but they go and they pay a shop license when in effect their license is supposed to be a public and special. They might pay 300 or 400 when they should be 1,200. So the job of the representative on the liquor license board to say, look, that area there, like you mentioned, Pacencia and those areas, those DAFCO presidents say, look, man, they go and say, look, he no for pay no 300, that's another type of license he no operate. He need to do that, and that is what they pay. So they recover more funds.
Can you explain that just a little bit more? All public and way name license, because I am at a loss as to what's the difference between one and the other.
Well, one is a shop where you just sell for go. That's it.
Not to be
consumed, and somebody use it, Somebody use it and abuse of it, according to the reports that we get. So we advise the councils and their representative what they can do, because they sit on the liquor license board. They are members, they sit on the board. Okay. So that is how part of that process going. Of course, the laws, in my mind, my personal mind, the laws, there's a lot of scope for amendment to be made. Absolutely. But that is what we encourage them. I cannot come and tell you what color for paint your house or how you for keep your yard. So that is where these meetings come, so that they can decide. When they have, I believe that the AGM for the National Association of Village Councils should be sometime in December. That is why they put resolutions and things, and then they can send them to the government, to the department, say, look, this is what we feel, this is how we feel, this is what we would like to see, and that is what that is how it works. So it's a process.
So like how Trial Farm now, a village, if you have them shops in the villages, the license when I get as one shop for sell, then it's a combination of do a license when I could sell merchandise like them bread and the soft drinks and so, and the beer license a different one, or it's one license?
One license.
One license. So where the funds go for that license? Go to the village council, or
The liquor license fee?
No, for the whole shop license.
No, there is no shop license in villages. That's why people are going to villages, because they don't pay no trade license. You pay trade license at town, but you don't pay trade license in a village. Now, the exercise that is being undertaken is that you have these big companies going to rural. Mm-hmm. You understand?
Yes.
Because of the type of business and how the breaks they say. But at the same time, there are small businesses in the community that you can't do. So what I believe is being done at this time, I am not in that department now, so let me clarify that. I cannot speak for that. But the exercise that I understand is going is that they are making classifications, classifications and sizes and etc. And that will be put forth to the councils to see if they agree with it. And then if they agree with it, remember, they will have to be the ones who will have to go here to the community and say, look, this is how we will manage affairs of the community, just like the municipality. And once they have accepted that and agreed to it, then it goes into legislation, okay? Because it does affect livelihood. You can't have a big company come in there, and then they will affect the small business, Okay. So those studies are ongoing, and classifications are being reviewed at this time.
Well, I think that at the end of the day, we have had ample discussion as to the Village Council Act, and we have come to the conclusion that it certainly needs revision, and it certainly needs to be brought up to be made more relevant to today's needs. And one thing that is absolutely clear is that some sort of autonomy needs to be placed in the hands of these village councils, rather than having it at having their disposal of money at the whim of the area representative, who may or may not be with of the same color, and God forbid that they be of the different color. Then they're not getting any support unless that person lends himself to being that kind of. Invariably, it doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. But which just further lends credence to the fact that there must be some sort of little autonomy that village councils need to have. In other words, for them to generate their own money, for them to be able to not only have to depend on liquor license tariffs, but for them to be able to generate their own money and say, tell you what, Mr. Ching Pang Wee, who has a big store there, you need to pay a little trade license here, because none of these people pay any trade license. Let's take that call.
Hello, good morning, Sugar City Morning Show.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
I have a little talking to tell you all. It's not part of the discussion, but something important. The last time you all were talking about when the CXC will be taken by the student, the government will pay so much, and you pay so much, or they will pay all, I don't know, something like that. But at this present moment, the teachers are charging the full. If you take 7, if you take 10 CXC, they will collect one time. Because they said that they don't know for sure if the government will pay for that CXC. That's why they are charging right now. And on the 1st of November, that will be paid. So I think Mr. Campos could give us a little insight of it, because I know they're close to the educational close to the ministers, and he's a government man.
I'm a government employee, sir. I used to be a government person, but I'm an employee.
Yes, but you're
I get your point. I get your point. I get your point.
You could
I get your point.
link with the friends.
I get your point. Now, what I would advise you is this: if it's so that you say that teachers are charging, then I think you should go along with other parents to the education department. There is an education department in Orange Walk and in every district to go and clarify that and find that. And if that is the case, then the education department will go to that particular school and make these clarifications. Okay, because there might be other parents who may be experiencing the same situation that you are, but again, many of them would not take the opportunity like you are having now to say, well, this is what we observed. So I would advise that you go to the education department for clarity.
What was his problem?
No, what happened is the Prime Minister had said that the government will be paying 6 CXCs, right?
Yeah.
Okay then.
And some teachers are charging, he says, for all of them.
Okay.
So, but you get a clarification from the
Go to the
department.
education office.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I believe that's the right thing.
Education office of the education department. Go there, and then you'll have that clarified quick, fast,
and you can be given a letter to say, no, I mean, so and so, attending and taking so, and these are waived.
It's just like the subsidy the Prime Minister mentioned, and up to Fort Farm, students will be given full subsidies. But then what happens is sometimes you go apply to a school, and then you have to pay to the school, and then when you get the money from the government, then it's returned back to you, right? I'm not sure if that's the same case, but like you both said, it's better for them to go to the education department, and they will know. But right now, we need to go somewhere, and that's on our break.
Right. Because there are some cases, like you mentioned rightly so, Chucky, that the schools might say, well, we need money so and so.
Right.
But what the ministry does in those cases, because we have experienced it, people come to rural and we have made some investigation. What the ministry says, the ministry does not know how many students are going to your class, to school. So the schools, the management needs to send the bill or the invoice to the department so that they know what they will pay for.
Right.
And sometimes some administrations delay on sending them. So when they delay in sending the invoice, then payment is delayed. So they are encouraged, for example, when you have registration and such, to send in, well, this is the list of students in Forest Farm, Second Farm, Third Farm, etc., and send it to the Department of Education, either through the education officer, so that it can be channeled to the ministry for acknowledgement and payment.
Okay, but let's take a break at this moment. It's 11 minutes after 8 o'clock, and las 8:11. Y si quieres compartir con nosotros en este tema, la discusión de este tema, puedes llamarnos al 302-2170 o puedes mandar tus comentarios al 600-5769 o también a mi número 6386415. Así que vamos a una pausa ahora y estaremos de vuelta con ustedes luego de estos anuncios.
You have an 8-cylinder powerful engine disguised as an aluminum alloy that spins at 8,000 revolutions per minute.
Goes like this. You think it's a turbo?
No, with the cleaning of injectors and a change of oil, you will run more efficient, my friend.
For those who understand the engine like it talks to you, we speak machine. Rush France, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
There's no need to go across the border to enjoy sun, sand, and crystal blue waters. Belize's northern islands and reef are just a boat ride away. Go slow and immerse yourself into the Caribbean Sea or enjoy some fresh coconut water. Or pick up the pace on an island where locals can enjoy sandy beaches by day and feast on your fresh catch by night. Discover the Mesoamerican Barrier Reef and submerge yourself into another world where you can experience a traffic jam you will want to return. You can also make new friends along the way. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
The Philip Goldson Highway between Belize City and the Philip Goldson International Airport is getting a major facelift to the tune of $31.5 million. Section B of the highway upgrading project between Haulover Bridge and the Buttonwood Bay Boulevard roundabout is underway at an investment of $21 million. Works consist of the full rehabilitation of the road to paved standard, which includes the widening of the road to 4 lanes, lined sidewalks and drains, wide shoulders, median, and parking plus a bus lane at designated sections of the road. LED road lighting will be installed along with road safety features such as signs, reflectors, and road markings. The project will also facilitate in the improvement of underground infrastructure for the public utility companies. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
You might have a mom, she might be the bomb, but ain't nobody got a mom like mine.
Las tiendas A&R orgullosamente anuncian la llegada de un gran surtido de artículos justo a tiempo para el mes de mayo, mes dedicado especialmente para celebrar y honrar a nuestras queridas madrecitas. Si buscas fragancias, electrónicos para el cabello, electrónicos para el cuidado de cabello, relojes de mano o artículos para el desarrollo físico, no busques más. A&R lo tiene todo. Y si buscas sobrecamas en todas medidas, toallas, cortinas para habitación o baño, juegos de olla, contenedores para basura y muchos artículos más para el hogar, una simple visita a A&R lo resuelve todo. Tiendas A&R, donde el gran surtido y los mejores precios hacen toda la diferencia. Visítanos en cualquiera de nuestras tiendas: Corozal, Orange Walk, Ciudad Belice, Belmopán, San Ignacio, Dangriga, San Pedro y ahora en Ladyville.
World-class spaces for Belizean athletes to thrive and fans to enjoy. Our new basketball and multipurpose arenas have proven their worth, attracting regional and international sporting events and hosting expos, conferences, and proud graduates. Your government moving Belize forward.
Have you ever noticed the development that's taking place in your town or in your city? Maybe it's because you've been too busy enjoying the results. More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Need an escape from your daily schedule? Why not become a tourist in your own country? Discover Western Belize. Transport back in time and be awed by the reminiscences of the Mayan civilization. Be adventurous or spend a day with family and friends enjoying the serenity of the Macau River. Sample a kaya staple or pick up some fresh produce to make your own delicacy. Come visit us in Western Belize. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. It's exactly 18 minutes after 8 o'clock. Thank you for keeping us tuned. Muchas gracias por la sintonía. Hemos estado con el señor Rubén Campos esta mañana preciosa, este lunes precioso aquí en Orange Walk. Y hemos estado hablando en realidad acerca de varios temas políticos, pero ahora vamos a platicar acerca de lo más eminente en el calendario. Tenemos para el Partido Unido Democrático. Tenemos para el mes de febrero. Pero antes de llegar a febrero, vamos a llegar al mes de noviembre. El mes de noviembre, el 25 de octubre, así es la fecha límite para cualquiera persona que quiera ser parte del equipo de liderazgo del partido UDP. Esa es la fecha límite para poner tu nombre en el cajoncito este. Así que, tanto así de que sabemos de que para el líder del partido, ya se incluyó el señor Patrick Faber y también supuestamente ya se incluyó el señor John Saldivar. El señor Patrick Faber ya tuvo su lanzado de campaña, ya lanzó su campaña con un evento magno. Y ahora, ¿cuándo será el del señor John Saldivar?
Es en noviembre.
El mes de noviembre.
La primera semana.
La primera semana en el mes de noviembre. Así que vamos a ver entre muy poco el lanzamiento de su candidatura del señor John Saldivar. Y luego entonces pues, la campaña para luego la convención del partido, donde se elegirá el líder del partido, entre otras posiciones muy importantes: vicelíder, segundo vicelíder, chairman del partido, porque hay una diferencia entre un líder y un chairman. El líder es el líder máximo, él es el jefe, pero el chairman es el que corre el partido, es más el trabajo interno, que ese tipo de cosas. Y hay posiciones abiertas para eso. Así que eso sucederá el 9 de febrero, cuando se determinará quién es el líder del partido. Y esto se llevará por cuántos delegados.
Bueno, ya explicaste el proceso, pero
Manuel, explain everything.
Explain everything, so we don't really have to get into that.
You don't say everything we got on the paper.
Yeah. But the thing is that on Friday, October 25th, at 5 p.m.
That's this Friday coming.
Yes, this coming Friday is the deadline for applications for party leader, first deputy party leader, second deputy party leader, national chairperson, and the vice chairperson. So after 5 o'clock, those who applied and submitted to the secretariat, then we will be able as a party to inform the party supporters and the nation as news who are the people who were nominated, and if there are more than one, well, those names will be submitted to the convention on February 9th, 2020. So that is a process. Now, in terms of the question he was referring to, the delegates, we will talk about that later on after we reach this Friday, so that everything can be compiled. It's under review at this time. So after the revision, then we will have much more facts to be able to discuss in terms of how those delegates will be functioning. But I think next week, the first week in November, maybe not next week, the first week in November, the Honorable John Saldivar will be having his official launching of his
But isn't it
candidacy.
like 530-something delegates?
Yeah, they're about, yes. But like I said, I'm not going to discuss that with you right now, because I want to concentrate on what we're doing here. When we reach to that point, after who are nominees, then we go through the process, who, what, when. I don't want to jumpstart that kind of that discussion right now. I don't think it's appropriate for me. We have a party chairman, we have a secretary general, and I have to be respectful of their positions, and I will maintain that position of respect at this time. But
What are the different officials that will be voting in the party in the convention, RC, apart from the delegates?
Well, you have members of the central executive, you have where you have UDP mayors, where you have standard bearers, etc. But like I said, right after the 25th, like next week, etc., we will get that information that we can even possibly even break it down by district or constituents and whatnot, so that we can give you the how it's done. No, it's a process, that a democratic process that allows the party members, the delegates in their constituents to say, well, this is the voice of what we feel. And after the Honorable Saldiva has his official launch, you will have ministers, standard bearers, members campaigning as to who they believe may be the best leader. And that is part of what happens in conventions and elections. You try to determine what or who will be the best individual to lead the party into the next elections.
Yep, it's a very, very interesting, RC, because I heard the Prime Minister mention that he's definitely not staying on for the entire term, no? He mentioned that on his last interview. I heard it. So right now, the person that wins that leadership has to be fully prepared to take over Prime Ministership until election comes.
Well, you see, that is a good question, because remember, when the party goes through a convention, you have what we call leader-elect. I've been elected.
Okay.
You've been elected. You're the leader in waiting. And the Prime Minister has his term that he may determine, that, okay, and for example, as Prime Minister, the party doesn't elect you Prime Minister. Okay? It's the delegates, and the leader of the party becomes the Prime Minister. And his position is he goes until he so determines. He is the Prime Minister for the entire period of the government life until he so decides. But at the same time, you could be the leader in waiting, coming and work along and see the machinations and prepare what your platform will be, your direction, your organization, your message, etc., to your supporters, to the nation. So it's a process. It's not automatic right way. Like when you have elections in the United States, you hear, well, he will be sworn in January. And like AMLO in Mexico, he had to wait till a certain period of time to be, and pretty much the same procedure in the democracy system, no?
Okay, so that is coming, the convention is on February 9th.
Yes, sir. And remember that even within the Constitution, general elections can go a few months thereafter.
Right,
yeah. It's going to be a dynamic election 2020. And when we review the achievements of the United Democratic Party, no, I'm speaking as a political person.
I want to ask
then you will see the difference.
I want to ask a hypothetical question. God forbid this ever happen, but it's a possibility that it can happen, given the fact that, well, I think this is the first time in a long while that we don't have this kind of situation, and coming from both parties. But what if, let's create a situation, what if Mr. Patrick Faber wins? Just creating a scenario. Patrick Faber wins the leadership convention. And then during the time that Mr. Patrick Faber is elected, and during the time that the official election happens, there's a problem with Mr. Faber. And he loses favor for some of his, But then the United Democratic Party wins the election again. So the government looks at the leader of the party that commands the vast majority in the House and says, Mr. Faber, I want you to elect your cabinet. And so Mr. Faber begins electing his cabinet. And then after he does so, there's a move afoot from the other members of the party that say that were elected and said, "Hey, tell you what, he doesn't command my support anymore. I'm sorry, but we can do. Can you do something like a coup d'état? Can you do bring him down and put somebody else?" Talk to us about that. It's a possibility of a scenario, but
Well, you did mention a very key word, hypothetical, and I will respond to you hypothetically. We have to wait till that scenario comes into effect to be able to deal with the issue. When you elect a leader, is because you have the nation who has elected a leader and has the confidence with the leader. And if you are going to follow that leader and be within that leader throughout the election and such, it is only behooving politically wise and wisdom to support your leader to have a good governance. So hypothetically, I cannot respond to a hypothetical situation.
I can understand that.
Is not
But
there.
I
So
cannot-
who am I to discuss something that does not merit that kind of conversation at this time? At this time.
I understand that perfectly. It's just that I just thought that perhaps the statute of the party made provision for something like that. It doesn't, not true?
Well, hypothetically, like you said, I don't deal with hypothesis, the hypothetical situation. I look at reality. The reality is that we're going through a process, a democratic process.
It could be a reality, you know.
Well, we're not there yet. We are phase one, and you have temperature. We're talking about the weather. We got rain and so on. If the sun come out tomorrow, people want to say, Emmanuel say me the rain, but it never rain.
Yeah.
So it's a scenario that we don't know. Tomorrow has not arrived. You know.
Politically, across the board, RC, let's say that the Honorable John wins the convention. Do you see any kind of divisional when it comes to Belize City, like the power is coming out from Belize City?
No, let me tell you how this goes. You have two well-capable leaders, both Patrick Fava and John Saliba are well-seasoned politicians. They are aware of situation in the country, and they are aware of the transformation that needs to take place in the United Democratic Party. There has to be a political party reform under new leadership and guidance. It's you going to focus now, and they are both, in my mind, qualified to lead the party and lead the party victoriously into the next general election for another term for the UDP. Now, and that is why whenever you have the convention and the party, everyone's invited, only so many people can vote, the delegates, but you can go there and be a supporter for your party and give support to your leader. That's what it's all about. It's just like the many elections in village council. You have a DAFCO, but there are only 12, but you got 24 villages, so you got to give support to your body members. But the United Democratic Party is seriously reviewing the internal political reform. It's undergoing now. There are certain realities, just like any mass political party. You have to take a look at the mirror on what has worked, what needs to be changed, and what you need to put forth to be able to better serve the people. And one of the landmarks of the United Democratic Party has been infrastructure. When you look at the World Bank, presentation in rural areas and poverty alleviation, they indicate to you that infrastructure development and education are areas that assist in uplifting you out of poverty. And this UDP government has excelled in that and continues to work through a program of infrastructure development and education. You just mentioned the Prime Minister said no food farm. So you can see from time to time the concern and addressing those needs of education are going. And we may agree to disagree, but look at the incident with teachers. Prior to 2008, the PUP government said, look, we have to freeze, no raise of pay. How many raise of pay have the teachers received? No, we may disagree or agree or disagree on policies and things, and that is our right. We live in a democracy. But in terms of what the delivery of goods and service, the hallmark of the UDP government is there to be seen by everyone.
Okay, so...
Okay, let's take the call that's coming in.
Yeah. Hello, good morning, Sugar City Morning Show.
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, sir.
Very interesting discussion this morning, no?
Thank you, sir.
I see one miracle as you want to mention something I think is important, I will miss it or leave it. Mention that 2020 will be a 2022 or whatever next election call. It will be a very, how could I say, heated one, but interesting. Well, let's say more historical too, because they look for new party leaders on both parties and new and young prime ministers, whether it be from the opposition or the reigning UDP party, no?
Yes,
True.
sir.
Yes, sir.
So I would just like you guys to expound on that a little bit. I mean, what should we expect from these guys and the way forward for the country, I believe. And I just want to hear all of views on it. Thank you.
My brother, thanks for the question. No, that's an interesting question, but I believe, like in any organization, what would be their path? Rule number one, listen to the voices of the people. You need to listen to the people. And where your organization and your structure must be people-focused. In other words, if you recall, earlier in the program I mentioned we were down doing with the World Bank, Caribbean Development Bank, and European Union some reviews of some communities, what the people thought about it, how they thought about it, what they think some of the solutions would be. We live in an era where communication is instant with social media, text, WhatsApp, and other mechanisms of high technology. So the populace now is aware instantly of whatever happens in our community, country, and worldwide. So the new direction has to be focused in one, my opinion, strengthening communication. Apart from listening, listening would be the priority. Two, communication, so that we be able to better understand what the needs and concerns are of the majority of the people. When you have two mass political parties, people have affiliations. So when you work at the majority direction, the majority focus, you need to be able to listen and attend to the people. The one who listens to the people more, works with the people more, visits the people more, and has that communication more, has a better chance to win. So these are things that both mass political parties continuously work. How can we develop better strategies to, one, be a viable party, the party to govern for the fourth time, and again, that comes again with the hallmark of leaderships. One key note that you mentioned that we need to speak about, the young leadership. The opposition has their leader, but the United Democratic Party, we have two dynamic young leaders, very educated, one in economics and military background and whatnot, and that knows the functioning, the other one in education, master in public communication and whatnot, and dealing with one of the largest ministries, Patrick Farmer. So you have two vibrant young leaders who are capable to assume this leadership now to take the United Democratic Party to a higher level and to a new direction. Bearing in mind, of course, the fast transition of things happening globally, and most important, concerns of national development. But I still remain, all politics is local.
Is there anything such as political education, RC?
Of course there is.
What does that entail?
What do you think a political education should be?
No, I mean when it comes to leadership, like you said, one got the leadership, studies in education and economics. Do you have anything as high as that when it comes to political studies?
Well, let me tell you something. A leader, a good leader, they have the qualities to be able to dialogue in modern world, but to be a leader, you need to be, first of all, concerned about your people, concerned about your nation. So there are certain philosophical skills of leadership, that attributes that you build yourself to. And again, it's your team building. Remember, you cannot, I shouldn't do this, but I believe in it. Jesus had his disciples and apostles, and he said, look, man, you're the ones I trust and go. So a leader has to have a good team that will uplift and carry out functions and listening to the people, preparing, as all political parties do, so that you may be able to function. Yep. Okay? And again, like my good friend Carl, it's a common sense, but maybe not so common, but you have to rely on a lot of that. Yep. So it's going to be a dynamic 2020, and you will hear voices that you never heard before. You will see characters that you never envisioned before, because the field will be so open, because there are so many opinions now. But again, I would say that when it comes to the development program as a developing nation, the United Democratic Party has done well.
Good morning, Sugar City Morning Show.
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen. Again, the reason why we ask this question is because, I think if people need to be prepared for what's ahead. Because, new people bring new change. You have new prime minister, new young leaders of the party. They bring their own crew, let's just put it, their own people. So things eventually not remain the same. So I just think it's very important to discuss these issues so people could accept these changes, no? Thank you.
No, thank you. But again, the late Honorable Philip Colson made a very remarkable statement. He said, from roots to fruits. He not said fruits to roots, roots to fruits. Mm-hmm. So the reality of life is that if you want to be a doctor, an attorney, you go to school and you take your examinations and studies from books. You research books. So you refer to the roots, which are elders of the party, elders of the community, and it's a combination of experience and then the support of new ideas, strength, health, and the ability to be able to act swiftly in modern times, always in consideration of what is best for the nation and the people of the country. So there is many factors involved that analysis needs to be done, and I am pretty sure, just like the opposition is doing, the United Democratic Party also has its program of reorganization, structuring, because it's very important. But my advice is always to a new leader, you are there because of the older ones. Somebody laid a foundation, and you cannot build if your foundation does not remain firm. So the leader that is able to maintain that foundation, you talk about base, maintain that firm foundation and build on it, then that is what a result, you'll get a better result. So those are things that those aspiring for leadership should consider. Those who advise us should advise. And most importantly, we're a loving nation, loving people, and let's do the best, what is best for this country.
Just to quickly cap off, when you asked the question about the political education, a number of people who have been involved in politics have been either persons who have been well studied in political sciences.
Absolutely, that's true.
As a matter of fact, I think Dean Barrow has a degree in political science, and I think Dr. Theodore Aranda also has a degree in political science, and a number of other people, and they have been trained over the years to do exactly that. It's a science all on its own. How to, and a lot of people go like, in politics there is no reality, it's only perception. And this is one of the things that is discussed very heavily. How do you get this person to change his or her mind and to go according to what you are professing is the truth? But we need to take another quick break, 8:41, and we'll be right back with you. A rather interesting discussion this morning. 8:41, we'll be right back with you.
Days are here, and whether it's for a picnic or in your kitchen, you need the meat. Gillette's Meat Shop proudly offers a variety of juicy cuts such as processed meats, ham, bacon, salami, longanisa, and sugar cure ham, just to mention a few. Enjoy our meats in beef, pork, and mutton. So for that healthy cut your family enjoys, visit us at number 18 San Antonio Road in Orange Walk from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 12:30 and 3 to 5 p.m. Sundays, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Place your orders at 322-3486 or 322-2175 or even 610-4061. send us an email at derekgillett31@gmail.com. Gillett's Meat Shop, fresh and processed meats.
Ay, qué rico.
Take a journey with us to endless possibilities. Our future as a country is now. Diginet Boost is countrywide. Taking Belize into the future. A nationwide technological evolution. As the most advanced fiber connection, Diginet Boost is a step forward into a modern world. Belize is powered by Diginet. Diginet Boost, now available countrywide.
Six cylinders to pure potential and better performance.
It looks like it vibrates. You think it could be the horsepower?
With a quart of oil and the calibration of the injectors, it will start to get the watchers again on the street.
We take a motor to its optimal level. We speak machine, Rush Franz, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Notice the residents of rural communities in Orange Walk and Corozal districts. If you value your health and your children's health, you will dispose of your garbage only at approved sites. The disposal of garbage at any other location is illegal, and if caught, you can be fined up to $5,000. If you don't get caught, you can still suffer health impacts caused by these illegal sites, because illegal dump sites harbor pests such as rodents, possums, and mosquitoes that carry diseases. These can transmit those diseases to you and your children. In addition, the garbage you throw away illegally can contaminate water bodies near your community, the same water bodies you might use for recreation or other purposes. Only with your help can the Department of Environment ensure that Belize's development is safe for present and future generations. You can also contact your local village councils or Belize Solid Waste Management Authority for more information. The Department of Environment thanks you for your help.
The San Ignacio-Santa Elena Bypass Project is now complete. The transformation began in 2012, and now residents of the Twin Towns and visitors alike are enjoying the end result. Works include the full pavement of Lamalus Boulevard, along with 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage, LED lighting, and a roundabout at the entrance of Santa Elena. The Twin Towns now boast the longest and widest bridge in Belize, immune to flooding from the occasional rise in water levels of the McCall River. A bypass road was also built linking the new bridge to Joseph Andrews Drive, which was rehabilitated, as well as 1 mile of pavement, a median, and 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage. This was all done to the tune of $34.8 million. But that's not all. The project was extended due to savings from the successful execution and implementation of the initial scope of works. Now over 2 miles of additional roadworks will commence, including George Price Avenue, Liberty Avenue, and the George Price Highway between Three Flags and Hawksworth Bridge. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
It's back to school time once again, and the only store to visit for all your back to school needs is A&R Store on Baker Street here in Orange Walk Town. Visit them for the absolute largest assortment of school bags in the country with brands like JanSport, Skechers, Everest, Capsule, and character bags like Mickey and Minnie Mouse, Jojo, Siwa, Unicorn, and so much more. Remember, A&R Store is your one-stop source for all your school supplies like exercise books, folders, sheets, dry eraser boards, foam boards, crayon and coloring books, plus so much more. Plus, they have a wide assortment of housewares including bed sheets, cookware, and garbage containers in all sizes and at the best prices in town. Visit A&R on Baker Street today, now with extended hours to better serve you from 8 a.m. through to 6 p.m., Monday to Saturday. A&R stores where prices do make all the difference. Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. It's 8:48. Few minutes we have left in this last segment. 12 minutes before that 9 o'clock hour, and I'd like to say that with commentary like this is very good. We educate our audience. We educate ourselves because there are some things I did not know. You know, we educate ourselves. We know what our limits. We know at the end of the day that we have to make decisions, and sometimes the decisions are easy. The decisions are easy, and sometimes the decisions are not easy, because we want to vote by conscience and by principles, and sometimes we don't want to go against our own selves. So, and I'm talking generally here, on both sides, and universally as well. But then again, who said politics is about principles? Politics is about convenience. That's what everybody says. So put the principles aside, and then they tell you vote by convenience. I've never been one of those persons to go for what is convenient for me. I've always been an idealist. I've always thought that people are elected to do a job, and that they should do the best in developing their responsibilities, their jobs, etc., and that they, being an idealist, like I said, that they should be held to the highest standards. That's what I believe. But being an idealist I have been proven wrong many times, and I said idealism doesn't help you. You have to be real, because politics is real. And I go like, yes, I understand that, but many changes are going to be happening very soon in both parties, in the PUP and the UDP. And let's just hope that whatever decisions happen in the UDP are good decisions made by the people, where at the end of the day, we can safely say that that we made the right choice, and that we are planting seeds for the future, and that at the end of the day, we're making a difference for our people. I'm hoping again that's what is going to happen, and that we, at the end of the day, elect the best person to be the best leader, and in turn, the best prime minister. I'm hoping that we'll be guided by God's wisdom to do exactly that. There is no perfect person. There is no perfect party. None. Wake up and live. There is none. It's just that, like, at the end of the day, we have to pick, like my father would say, I have to pick the lesser of two evils. That's just the way he saw it. But Ruben, it's 8 minutes before 9. Your experience in this thing is always accepted. You have a vast amount of experience, and an important thing is that you don't only have the experience, but you're willing to share it. And I want to say thank you very, very,
Thank you, Manuel.
Always welcome. We'll be seeing more of Mr. Ruben Campos as the time draws nearer. As the time draws nearer, we'll be harnessing all that information, all that wisdom, all that experience that he has, and hopefully he will continue wanting to share it with us, because as time goes by, we will need to be guided by people like him in order to make the best decision, in order for us to be able to say, tell you what, I'm lost, yo no sé qué hacer, I am lost between this and that, and hopefully by people with his experience, we can actually chart the road forward and make it real and make it the best. Do we have any activity for the rest of the week?
Activity?
Yeah,
Activity, what's coming up? I don't really see
Tuesday's
any-
coming up.
Yeah, Tuesday's
coming up, I know. But on Wednesday we'll have, hopefully, National Sports Center.
Yeah, persons from the National Sports Council here in Orange Walk. They're having some events coming up at the People's Stadium and in the district as well, and they promised to be here to share that information with us.
Right. Well, we'll continue to work on the new Sugar City Morning Show. Hopefully, so that by the beginning of November we can launch our new show, or maybe the 15th of November we can launch a new and revamped Sugar City Morning Show. I am feeling excited about that because two talking heads is nice, but people out there actually talking to people and walking with people and discussing with people, and you at the same time being with us makes all the difference in the world, all the difference. And I think that this is a proactive way of reaching out to you. So I want to say muchas gracias. Please bear with us until we have our way charted forward. It's not easy, we have to think. We have to really put on our thinking hats and do the best and utilize what God has given us, the ability to do the best that we can. Así que, and for Thursday, I do believe that we have some invited guests as well, and for Friday we have invited guests as well. So bear with us, ladies and gentlemen, and again, thank you very much. It is 5 minutes before 9 o'clock. Today is the 21st of October. Final words, Ruben.
Thank you very much for the invitation, Emmanuel and Jackie. Always good to be here with you.
Make that your closing remarks and not your final words, all right?
Closing remarks. No, I think it's an interesting morning to be able to be bright like the sunshine, and foremost to give thanks and praise to the good Lord for the blessings that He gives us every day. It's how we put our energies and our thoughts in the positive side of things. You can build with a worker, or you can destroy with a looker on. So I rather be the worker and invite Belizeans and those viewing and listening to us to be workers for the better development of our country and particularly our community. We're brothers and sisters, and we should respect each other's opinion. We agree to disagree and disagree to agree, but at the end of the day, a decision has to be made. And whenever the majority so decides, we move along together so that we can grow. Always reminding us that we are a part of the whole global world where things outside affect us, and for us to have strength and forego sustainability in our nation, we need to work together. So I want to thank you. I want to thank the good Lord for giving me a brand new day. I'm so happy and I'm very grateful for this day, and I want to wish blessings to each and every one of you. So Emmanuel, Jackie, you have a great week, and whenever you invite and time avails, so be it. So, thank you very much for the invitation. And
Thank you very much,
always
my
good
brother,
to be
always.
here. Good morning to all of you.
Bueno, yo quiero darle muchas gracias al equipo de producción y importantemente a ustedes por su audiencia. Yo sé que están escuchando, pero les pido que si quieren hacer un comentario, márquenos al 302-2170. Y entre poco, como dije, vamos a estar reestructurando nuestro Sugar City Morning Show por X razones. Queremos nosotros salir fuera de este cajón y llegarle hasta ustedes, donde sea que se encuentran. Llegarle a los negocios, llegarle a los políticos, llegarle a los jefes de departamento, llegarles a las personas que están haciendo una diferencia en este pueblo. Así que bastante interesante lo que vamos a estar haciendo aquí, pero lo hacemos simplemente por una razón, y eso eres tú. Eres tú, porque siempre queremos y necesitamos tu audiencia. Así que muchas gracias por mantener la paciencia, muchas gracias por estar con nosotros. No obstante, este show repite por las noches a las 9. Primero Dios, estaremos aquí con ustedes mañana a la misma hora. Mi nombre es Emmanuel.
And I'm Robert Cheque Usher.
Compañeros, se cuidan. Nos vemos mañana a la misma hora. Primero Dios.
Sugar City Morning Show.
World-class spaces for Belizean athletes to thrive and fans to enjoy.